Welcome again, each and everyone. Welcome back to the Nick and Dan podcast. Back again with another World Cup special. This time, yes, we're going to zone in on the Group C. We're picking up where we left off, of that Group B group. So we're getting into Group C at this moment with Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and the Scottish. It's been a while since the Scottish getting a taste of a FIFA World Cup. I think it was the last time it was over 20 years ago, almost 2 decades. So close to around, I think 1998, I think was the last time the Scottish team been around to the World Cup. So we're going to get into it. We're going to zone in on some of the key players, the favorites in the group, which one of the team in Group C is the underdog going into the FIFA World Cup as well, and which coach have the best sets of players in this group. So we're going to get into all of it. We'd like you as well to contribute to the channel as much as you can. Like up the video and subscribe to the channel. Much love and respect to each and everyone. And comment, what is your favorite thoughts around Group C? But we're going to get Daniel thoughts as well on Group C and what is the expectation for the four group members in Group C. Yeah, so what says you in our own Group C? Get into it. Big dogs, Brazilian, the Joga Bonita.
Yeah, yeah, I think this is a very interesting group. Some would say Brazil and Morocco should be the favorite top two to go through, and maybe Haiti and Scotland should be maybe the third best team to fight it out with Haiti. But this is a very balanced group. I think you could see Morocco and Haiti, Morocco and Scotland should be a very good game. You get what I'm saying? I just think that both four teams from different continents, one from South America, one from Caribbean, one from Africa, and one from Europe. So four different continents. You get what I'm saying? So it should be a different style of football for each different teams. You get what I'm saying? So it should be a very interesting game. I know the first game gonna be Brazil against Morocco. I think that's gonna be a very popular game. You get what I'm saying? So that game gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, I think, the Moroccan, I think some of the people that work inside the federation in Morocco saying that, they are not here to just fill the void and just to take up space. And they are not here to scare, from this Brazilian team. They're here to play. And talking of this Moroccan team, we saw what they did in the last edition as well in Qatar, where they finished fourth in the World Cup, the highest rank ever African team in the FIFA World Cup. They will be under lots of pressure going into this phase, especially what happened in the recent regional tournament at home and home side, beaten by the Senegalese team. Much controversial stuff happening with that African tournament, but they will be under massive pressure leading up to this, as this Group C game versus the Brazilian national team as well. But their fans expecting, if not the same, but even more so, even with a different head coach at the helm, different changes, to this World Cup team as well. So many big names got left off of this Moroccan team. So you saying that this time around the fans are expecting more? Are they expecting just around round of 16 quarterfinal? I think realistically, I don't think the Moroccan team can really hit the heights like they did in the last edition.
Yeah, I think that team was a much better team that was at the last World Cup. They're missing a couple key experienced player. I can give you a name, Akim Ziyech. I think he was very influenced in that run up, and then they're missing the striker that played for I
El
think he was
Nastiri.
yeah, in Stereo. I think he at the time when he was playing at the World Cup, he was playing for Sevilla, and I think some would say he kind of not really being the same player, but I think he's just not the same player. I know they play a couple games, play a couple friendlies. They beat Madagascar 4-0 with no Hakimi. I know Hakimi is gonna come back in after he just played the Champions League final, but I wouldn't expect Morocco fans should have a high expectation of this team. I know they go all the way in the final against Senegal, that controversial final in the African Nation Cup. But I still have quality team, but I wouldn't expect. I think to me, the African team for me to make it anywhere near the semifinal would definitely be Senegal.
Yeah. Looking at this group, the clear favorite in this group should be the Brazilian national team. Look what happened, in their last outing as well versus the Panamanian team. It was a tough game. The CONCACAF team, I think the Panamanian team gave a good standout performance in that first 45 minutes. But the Brazil team was just too much. Then especially some of the tactical changes in around that game by Carlo Ancelotti. You see enough, from this Brazilian team to show that they will bring a lot of dominance against Morocco, Haiti, and the Scottish team as well in this group.
Yeah, I think the Brazil team always been over the last couple of World Cups. Brazil team has been always been very excited throughout the group stage. Like they win all their games, and I just feel like I'm not really expecting any different from what they normally do. They come with a buzz. They come with a excitement in the group stage, and I think Brazil should be the one that top the group. But I just feel like the problem where Brazil able to push forward is maybe since the last 2014 World Cup when they got that massive defeat against Germany. Yeah, they have not make it back to the semifinals. So I think this World Cup, I don't know what to expect too much from otherwise from the group stage. I don't know what to expect from this Brazil team.
Talking about semi-final, in Brazil and home style, I think that was the last time they make the semi-final. If you ask me, different from winning the tournament in 2002. So it's always been for knockout, quarter final, run of 16 exit, stuff like that. And I think even that '06 World Cup campaign as well in Germany, I think that was a disaster of looking at R9, the Ronaldinho, the Robinho. That
Yeah,
squad, didn't manage to get into the semi-final. I think they got knocked out by Thierry Henry, the French team as well. Very good team.
yeah.
Zinedine Zidane, that French team, it was very good. But I'm looking at the expectation of this Brazil team. I don't think, yes, Brazilians will always ask for the top of the tree performance of getting the trophy, and looking at 2002, since the Brazil team have last won it, it's been a drought since then. So I think throughout the group stage, Brazil have always done their best. They have always played to expectation as well. It's been a while since this Brazil team have lost a game in the group stage as well. So I'm expecting the Brazil team to finish on top. It's going to be very tight between second and third. Don't take too much away from these sets of players that's playing for Haiti national team, the Haitians. I think they will come with that excitement. Their fans, will fill the stadium with a lot of joy and with a lot of passion and the chants and everything. And I think that will feeds on from the 12 man coming from the stadium as well. So I think this Haitian team, looking at even the last game that they played versus New Zealand in Florida, that was a definitely fabulous game for them as well. And it's just the way how they played, on that day with a lot of a swagger, the confidence, the teamwork, the effort, everything was put into it versus that New Zealand team, and they just swept them away. In Florida against in front of at least 10,000 Haitian fans watching that game, their beloved Haitian national team. So I just think that overall it's going to be very tight. And if you look at Scotland team, Steve Clark, the only Scottish manager, to get this national team into what, three consecutive major tournaments, the last two Euros and also a World Cup as well. So if you look
Yeah.
at what Scotland have been doing, They have a very good team, very good manager. Not the best loved by the Scottish fans with a type of football where physically, direct play as well. It's dealing with a lot of height. It's not the cutest football on the pitch, but they know how to get the job
Yeah,
done. And I think they have some people that can really, score goals in some very clever areas as well. With set
yeah.
pieces and stuff like that. So, what's your takes around this Scottish team?
I don't know why the fans complain about the football. Like this guy able to get this team for the first World Cup in which you said in almost 20 years. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know why the fans is complaining. You get what I'm saying? But McTominay, I think I'm really looking forward to see him in this World Cup. He have been a brilliant player since he went to Napoli. You get what I'm saying? He changed his life basically. So I'm really looking forward to see what McTominay can do in his World Cup. I think he's gonna be the face of Scotland team. They still got some good players. They got I think Gilmore, Robinson. You get what I'm saying? So I think this team should be a very good team, very solid. You get what I'm saying? Not gonna be good on the eye, but should be give some teams problem. I think, as I said, I think they are the one that gonna be giving Morocco some problem to get that second place to go through the knockout stage.
Yeah, I think Scotland only lost one game, I think, throughout the entire qualification. I think that was against Greece, where that put them into a very bad spot to, to not to get beaten in the last game versus Denmark. You call Billy, the former Chelsea player as well. He was injured in that Curacao game and he's out of the World Cup. Steve Clark
Really?
called up. Yeah, Billy Gilmore got injured in that Curacao game when they won
Jesus.
4-0.
Yeah.
So he make a surprise call up and he called up Darren Fletcher's son, the Manchester United player in that midfield as well. So I think it's Tyler Fletcher, one of them, one of the Fletcher brothers. But yeah, he will be in the World Cup. So it's just chaos around Billy Gilmore that saddening that.
That's such a
Yeah,
and for you
yeah,
would have been
yeah,
such a good player in that midfield, man. I like Billy Gilmore. I think he's a very good, tidy central midfielder. That's
yeah.
so unfortunate.
Yeah, so looking at the forward line, I know me and you talk about Holly McBurney not being a part with this Scottish national team. Scored just around between 17 and 20 goals for All City of the championship, the last campaign as well that just ended. Just a week ago or so, helped them to get a promotional spot into the Premier League. I know the two main striker going into the World Cup will be Lyndon Dykes of Charlton Athletic, someone who didn't really play up to standard, but really liked by the manager, and Che Adams as well. But when you look at it, man, most important figure in that Scotland team should be Scott McTominay, should protect with all costs.
Yeah, I think Scott McTominay should be the talisman. I think you're gonna be right behind that striker. You get what I'm saying? You have an eye for goal. You get what I'm saying? So I think I know Billy Gilmore was not gonna be there, but my God, if you can imagine if they lose out on McTominay, that would have been devastating. But I think McTominay should definitely be the one to look for. You get what I'm saying? They still got a couple quality on the bench as well. Someone who can come in and do a good job. They got Peterson. I think Peterson at Everton have been a very solid. Nathan Peterson have been a very solid season for Everton. I think that's a good pickup for them. You get what I'm saying? And then they have couple right back Kiki. I like Kiki that played for Brentford. A right
Yeah.
back. I like him. I think he's a very good player as well. So they have a couple good. I think Christie, very experienced player for Brent for Bournemouth. He have been a very good player. So they have a couple good players around, not just in the Scotland League, but that play in the Premier League, that play at a very decent level. So I think this Scotland team is not a bad team. When you look at it on paper, those two people don't really know a lot of these players, but we watch a lot of Premier League, so we know some of these players that can show their quality.
Um, Looking at also the first game of Group C, you know, how would you call the first game? Morocco versus Brazil, Haiti versus Scotland. The Haiti game and Scotland game will play in Boston, a very strong hold of Scottish heritage as well. Brazil game will play in New York as well, very strong hold of Brazilian heritage. I I see this Brazilian team because if it is, I would say much more of a deteriorate Moroccan team, but still a very good team as well. I probably see Brazil maybe winning this game 1-0, and the Haiti and Scotland game. I see the Haitian national team winning this game.
Really?
Yeah, I see the Haitian team making a big claim of a surprise. I think
Really?
they're sleeping very quietly in this group, to be honest. I think the Asian have enough. I think if you just look at how, they play the football together as a team, I think Scotland, they are not on the best of form, at this moment, leading up to the World Cup as well. But I think this Haiti team, they have something to really shout out to, in this group.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you. I think that Brazil Morocco game gonna be very tight. I can see maybe Brazil edge them at 2-1. You get what I'm saying? But I see Scotland edging. I see Scotland beating Haiti
Yeah.
by saying that I just think Scotland overall has have a better quality team. You get what I'm saying? And also they have a lot of experienced players that play on the highest stage before. This is the first time Haiti players gonna ever play on such a high expectation and level. So I don't know what to expect from the Haiti team. You get what I'm saying? And as I said, they have the Scotland team have a lot more quality. You get me? Our own. You get me? So McTominay, he have won the Italian league. You get what I'm saying? So he know what's the big stage. He play in the Champions League. You get what I'm saying? Robinson, very experienced left back. You get what I'm saying? So I just don't see how can Haiti beat this team and hurt this team. You get what I'm saying? But I'm gonna edge Scotland to come out as a 2-0 win.
Yeah, so I have to shout out as well that the Haitian player, the only domestic player in the World Cup team, finally received his US visa. And he's probably at this moment when this video release, he's on US side joining up with his national team, Oliver Peer as well. And it's just the send off, it's just the camaraderie of the Haitian people supporting him, being resilient, not giving up, always being very tough, in any journey, and not to give up of, to obtain a US visa so he can join up with his beloved Haitian national team. So that's positive, as well. I mean, good news coming out of Haiti, and just to see other people, very excited that, Pierre, Oliver Pierre finally got his US visa so he can be safe and secure, on his way to US to join up with his national team. So that's one of it. One thing to have to leave, with this group as well. If Brazil going to do anything in this World Cup, we know that collectively it's not the best. Individually, it's not the best. But they have very good players, but they're going to have to live up to a high expectation. But I think if Brazil is going to do anything, it's all going to down to what Carlo Ancelotti, really can mastermind of tactically, in-game management, the philosophy, what is the game model around the identity of this Brazil team, how he can get the best system to suit these 11 players that he can start on a pitch. So watching that Panamanian game, how he play the first 45 4-2-4, I know he switch back go to three in the midfield and to give that extra man in the midfield to help out, the Casemiro and the Bruno Guimaraes as well. I think stuff like that is going to be massive, especially in the knockout round where when it comes on to teams in the knockout round versus Brazil, once that team technically above Brazil in that FIFA ranking, Brazil failed, over the last 5 World Cup to get past. Different from when they won it 02, but 06, 10, 14, 18, 22. Once they play that team that's ranked higher than them in the knockout round, that's curtains for the Brazil team. So Ancelotti going to have to change that mentality and to get over that hump with the Brazil national team. So people, that's where we leave it. Much love and respect to you guys as well. Clocking out, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Nick and Dan YouTube podcast channel.